and the tragedy of Guyana. Marshall Applewhite and his Heaven's Gate suicide cult. David Koresh and the disciples of the Branch Davidian. Each of them claimed to be the Christ, the chosen Messiah, and each led his flock astray with promises of deeper insight and enlightenment.
666, Antichrist means do not put your eyes on Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Put it in Jesus after the cross.
And that's you.
That's me.
The charismatic 61-year-old De Jesus claims millions of followers, most in Latin America. His sect does have hundreds of churches, cable TV stations, and says it brought in $1.4 million in donations last year. And he boasts of a rapidly growing presence in the United States. In an interview with us in September, he declared,
I do greater things than Jesus of
Religious
Nazareth.
movement that
Much
claims a
greater.
presence in more than 20 countries, mostly in Central and South America, but also in the United States. From Hartford to his headquarters in Miami, he says there are more than 30 teaching centers nationwide.
Christ prophesied that in the final days, these masters of deception will increase in number and influence as a desperate world searches for spiritual direction. And as these counterfeit saviors flourish, their tools of persuasion will include more than convincing rhetoric.
And they're going to increase and increase, and I would be so bold as to say on the basis of Matthew 24, they will increase in power. They'll have power to perform miracles. They'll have power to perform healings. They will try to replicate the miracles of Jesus and prove themselves to be false messiahs, giving false teaching.
You will hear of wars and rumors of wars. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom.
Christ also warned that the end times would be marked by a dramatic increase in warfare. There is little doubt that the 20th century has given us a vivid glimpse of what a world dominated by military conflict will be like. For the last 100 years, scarcely a day has passed when the planet has not been scarred by warfare. 2 world wars, punctuated by countless ethnic and regional conflicts, have claimed millions of lives while shrouding the earth in tension and fear. Since 1945, nuclear weapons have given man the power of self-annihilation. The fuse on what is perhaps the most deadly threat of all seems to grow shorter by the day: the prospect of all-out war in the Middle East. Whether or not our generation is living through the specific wars and rumors of wars Christ foresaw is open to speculation. But amidst the anxiety and bloodshed, there is little doubt that modern weapons of destruction, coupled with ever-mounting political tensions, represent the volatile formula that could potentially lead to the end of civilization as we know it.
There will be great earthquakes, famines, and pestilences in various places. All these are the beginning of birth pains.
Like the specter of escalating warfare, Jesus said that a progression of devastating natural disasters will also underscore the approach of the last days. Again, our world is well acquainted with these fears. World relief agencies estimate that as many as 1/3 of the Earth's 6 billion people are victims of starvation. 34,000 of them die of famine-related causes each day. Of the 68 most devastating earthquakes in recorded history, 46 of them occurred in the 20th century. In sub-Saharan Africa, 23 million children are infected with the HIV virus, the deadly killer for which there is no known cure.
When Jesus talked about things that were going to occur in the future, and he referred to them as signs that were coming, he also refers to them as birth pains. They'll come on you like birth pains on a woman. Those begin to come intensely, but they start to intensify and come more rapidly, more quickly as you get to the time when the baby's delivered. I think it's obvious then that he uses the term birth pains to symbolize the fact that some of these signs of the future may begin to come to pass on the scene slowly, one at a time, but eventually more and more of them will come in rapid sequence.
Christ's warnings bear an obvious resemblance to another prophetic image revealed by God late in the 1st century. On the island of Patmos in the Mediterranean Sea, the Apostle John beheld a series of visions. In one of them, 4 mounted horses appeared on the horizon of the future as the ominous messengers of the final apocalypse. The first horse in John's vision was white, and it symbolized the rampant spiritual deception that would grip the earth in its final days. A red horse and rider followed, the images of intense warfare throughout the planet. Then a black horse thundered through the earth, wreaking havoc with famine and natural disasters. And finally, the pale horse of death made its dreaded and inevitable journey. Spiritual deception, wars, starvation, earthquakes, at intensities beyond anything humanity has ever experienced. They are early signs of the end times, prophesied by Jesus Christ. There is an ancient Hebrew proverb that proclaims, Israel is the center of the earth. In the context of the end times and the signs that will foreshadow their coming, there is little doubt that this small strip of land at the crossroads of Europe, Asia, and Africa is the focal point of all that Christ and the prophets taught about the future.
You have to put Israel and Jerusalem in every factor about end-time prophecies because it's the center of the earth. And in this end-time event, you'll find that God still has many plans and promises for the Jews that are going to be fulfilled